So unfortunately, the streaming can only see two charts. I don't know how to make it wider. I don't know if it can be wider. I have to look into that. It doesn't show my whole monitor, and I can't spend any time on that right now. I'm sorry. We'll have to figure it out. All right, so for now, our YM, we have a magnet. We're going to put a quick reverse continue on it. I'd be extremely careful about taking long signals right now. We need to wait and see how the market responds to the news over a little bit longer period of time than just a few minutes so far. Our reverse continue on the YM, a 35 target, a 35 stop. And right now, we're going to label it YM reverse continue. And right now it's on 42. I should say 43. Um, Maybe we'll do our YM on Bullinox. I mean on Lucid. I want my YM on Lucid. YM's on Lucid. So we'll set that. Our magnet will go to Lucid. And why? Because the oil open has been very inconsistent. I'm not interested in damaging my Lucid account with the oil open. I would rather put the YM on my Lucid account because overall, I think I have a new, nice way to do better on the YM magnets in the morning. And I'll go over that with everybody. Okay. So right now, I don't have the YM. I'd like to see the YM pull up 50 points or so from here would be awesome. Then we could play the low. All right. My goal would be to play the low on the open to get a test of the low. Right now, we are only about 33 points away. That's not enough. I'd like to see a 30 or 40 or 50 tick pull up on the YM, a retrace. Getting to oil. All right, let's go to oil. We only have one day till oil rolls over. So, one of the bad things about that is oil has mixed volume. What does that mean? It means that half of the volume on oil is on is on the current contract, and the other half is on tomorrow's new contract. Okay. So, Nitin, on your take profit trader, what do they charge when you become funded? Anything? What's their policies? If you feel like typing it in for people so they know, what did it cost to get started with them? If you feel like it, just type in what the costs were. Oil, reverse continue. First things first. Change the breakout to a reverse continue. One position, 25 tick target. So we started this morning scalping oil to the downside. No, we scalped gold, didn't we? Did we scalp? Yeah, we scalped gold for a test of the low for like 160 bucks in our Lucid. And it did test the low. 25 on the stop. Oil reverse continue. One position, 25 target, 25 stop. And we're going to trade this in 43. Label it CL reverse continue. And we are in number 43. All right. So oil reverse continue, number 43. We're going to put it on sim for a minute. because we do have a breakout for oil in the morning. A breakout for oil in the morning. See, we're going to be breaking these lows, I think. We're breaking these lows on the YM. We have a normal way that we trade. I don't want to just be jumping into scalps before the open, to be honest. All right. I think we're going to get another test of the low, but I'd rather stick with what we do in the morning. If it makes the new low, we're going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. It's it's only 15 ticks, so don't get all worked up that you're missing a giant trade. If it keeps going to S1, it's going to be a good trade. Getting back to our oil breakout. Let's put our oil breakout on the chart. This is the inconsistent trade. So I'm going to load the template. Oil new open. Yesterday it was a no fill. Generally, I'm looking for a burst. If it's super volatile, I'm going for 25 tick bracket. If it's reasonably normal, I'm going for a 20 tick bracket. There's the YM test of the low. Oil new open. Right click it. We're going to put it on today's date, May 13th. Load it, and our oil breakout is 859.59. We're going to put it on zero for a second. I think we're going to go with the 20 bracket this morning. Position 1's a 1, position 2's a 1. Target 8, target 20, stop of 25, BE on the break even, target 1, stop move, stop at 25. We're going to leave it on sim for a minute. It's already labeled. Breakout open.
Order submitted.
Nice bracket. I wish it wasn't right at the high. I'd like to see oil sell off a bit before the open so we can get a move to the upside, because it looks like,
Order canceled.
looking at a longer term chart on oil, oil's very bullish today. All right, as of 2:30 in the morning. All right, 2:30 in the morning. This was 6 p.m. It opened down, and then at 4 in the morning, oil burst up. So oil can go in any direction today. It's shown that it's gone in many different directions today. So let's check our breakout again.
Order submitted.
There's our brackets. I think a 20 bracket looks good on
Order
the open.
canceled.
We'll put our chart trader on number 43. We're going to modify our software, highlight it, 859.59, 20 bracket. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target of 8, target of 20, stop of 25, target 1 stop move is BE for break even, and we're on account number 43. Apply it, okay it, and we can put our magnet on oil also if you want to, no harm. Right click strategy, double click magnet, Leave it on off, so we'll just see signals. We'll do one position,
The US
-3,
effective federal
offset
funds rate
target,
unchanged at 3.63%.
35 on the stop. Slide down, label it CL magnet. And remember, all our setups for each individual instrument, all the setups on one chart go on the same account. And I say the same things every day because we're doing the same things over and over. We're creating muscle memory, as they say. The point of what we're doing is we're creating
Order submitted.
consistency in the way that we trade. So we do need, whoa, I
Order
was just
canceled.
testing and I was testing by accident. I wasn't even thinking, folks, I was going to let it fill because it looked like the market was moving down, but I don't want to. Oh, I've lost my mind, folks. That was the open. I don't know what I was talking. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. That was the open, and I turned it off because I thought I was early. So let's watch it. So is it going to go
Order
down? Let's
submitted.
put it on. That's where we would have been filled. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I'll get stopped out. But that's where I would have been filled. Let's see if it works. I was not paying attention, so I'll take like half the distance to the goal line. Sometimes you just get caught up in the chat. I was just talking. So let's see if we can get, I'll take 5 to 8 ticks. We've got uh, momentum
Seeing
to
a little
the
bit of weakness in
downside.
WTI crude, bit of strength in the S&P 500, little weakness in the US dollar. Currently
If I
looking
can
for
get
any
my
headlines to
stop
act
to
as a catalyst for
safety,
these
I'll
moves.
move my stop to safety. I need a few more ticks than this. I need about 6 or 7. Look at the YM, the signal. If you had the gumption to take that signal, that was a gutsy signal to take. Why? Because if you took that signal, it was pretty good because your stop would have been the low, 10 ticks below it. Not bad, really. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And one of the reasons
Order
I'm being
filled.
so aggressive here is because I entered so poorly because I was not paying attention. So I didn't really have the luxury of a proper entry on this trade. So took a tiny little profit just because I was fairly close to where we would have been entered. But look, it wasn't really pushing hard after we got in. The hard push was early. And it looks like I did the right thing this morning by being aggressive. Now, I love what's happening on the YM because we're getting a push off of the low so that as we get closer to the open, we can trade the magnet low like we would normally do. All right. So I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Calvin, I don't usually trade MYM. I don't like MYM, but that would have been a perfect instrument to trade that signal. It was perfect. It was perfect. Hey, folks, I'm going to heat my coffee, so just watch for a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to have to fix the webcam when I come back because it screws it up on YouTube. So when I get back, I'll fix the webcam. I'll be back in 1 minute, not even.
IDF chief says IDF prepared to resume fighting if necessary.
All right, test 1 2 1 2. Let me fix the webcam. Can you all hear me? Okay, the webcam should be fixed in a minute. All right, Calvin, goodbye. A goodbye. Great signal. Great signal. So, what do I love about this signal? Um, it's close to the low. So, your stop is almost as small as it can be. That's what's great about that signal. It's close to the low. So, this morning, we will play. I'm leaning towards a test of the low because the news was so lousy. So let's go back to the YM magnet this morning. I want to look at the setup. Make sure we have two contracts. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is -3. That's default. That to me always stays at -3. What does that mean? That means very simply that if you're trading the high, test the high, you're going to get out of the trade 3 ticks before you get to the high. If you're trading the low, you're going to get out of the trade 3 ticks before you get to the low. That's -3 offset. If you make it a -2 offset, you'll get out 2 ticks before, or 2 ticks above or below. If you make it a 5, you'll get out 5 ticks above the magnet. Okay? It's very simple. And then target 2, if it's 15, it's got to go through the magnet 15 ticks. So if you make a new low, it's got to keep going 15 more ticks. The stop is 40. It's extremely simple once you get have it explained properly. The signals that we get are controlled in the aftershock reversal. If you want high of day only signals, turn off your VWAP signals. Those are the only two signals we generate. High of day, low of day tests, and VWAP. And they are reversal signals. They're reversal signals. They're not continuation signals. They're reversals. Okay? And then we're going to label the trade YM magnet, and I'm in Lucid. Apply it and okay it. Make sure your chart's on Lucid. It is. Calvin bought very nicely. He took that signal. I'm not sure I would have taken that signal. But if I would have been thinking micros, I would have. I wasn't thinking micros. I was not thinking micros. I like that signal. In retrospect, I'm not interested this morning in taking highs. However, if the market decides to go up on the open, I love the VWAP test. And how easy is it to change our targeting on the VWAP? You've got your magnet right here, right? You got your control panel right here. You want to trade the VWAP? That means you're going to put an order above the PP, most probably. So it's also a PP test and a VWAP. The PP is also acting as a magnet, I believe. But they're far from each other. You know, you've got 40 ticks away from each other. It's almost two separate trades, but it really isn't. It's one. The trade to me would be the VWAP. Are we going to pass through the VWAP this morning? Not great odds because the markets are so negative. My gut feeling is we're going to get to the PP and sink. I would, if I was trading alone in my office, I would almost take a short here and just put my stop above the VWAP. But I'm not trading alone in my office, and I would not take that much risk in the room. And I would wait for better momentum in the favor of the short. Right now, you're maybe just coming out of the long momentum. And this was very nice, clean, long momentum. Okay. It really was. Oh, I'm just using 15 ticks, I think, Roz. 15. 15. 40 on the stop. I use 40 on the stop. All right, so we've got a possible test of the short. I was saying if you want to change to your VWAP target, all you have to do is go to the high of day, low of day at the bottom, make it manual entry price, and then the box just below it, put it on target VWAP, and get your order up towards the VWAP. Put your order where you feel is the best fill. It's going to be above the PP. Got to break the PP. And then you might get a test of the VWAP. I'm not a lover of that setup because where markets are pretty negative, I think. And I like the high of day, low of day test better. That's what I like better. I'm putting it on automatic. We're getting close to the open now. We got to change our oil chart. Let's get rid of our oil setups. We turn them off. We're going to leave our oil setups because we're going to modify them into MNQ setups. All right. They're going to be modified MNQ setups. Change your chart. Right click the chart. Right click the chart. First, we'll turn the reverse continue into an MNQ reverse continue. It was an oil, remember. So we'll do two contracts. We'll do a 75 tick target and a 75 tick stop. It's just a reverse continue. It's a scalp if you want it. That's all it is. And we're going to trade the MNQ on our funded account 67, which we need to trade. Account 67. Sadly, I blew up 68 yesterday. I blew up a funded account, number 68. The sad story of account 68 is long and storied. It was an account that was blown up 2 months ago, and somehow it stayed alive. I don't know if it was a accounting mistake by Bullinox. I really don't know what the problem was, but I noticed, and I've told this story 8,000 times. You're probably bored to death and can't stand even listening to me anymore. Make a long story short, it didn't get blown up. They sent me an email that it was blown up. It showed up in our trader as liquidated, but it was still on my member account as active, and I kept trading it, trying to save it, and sadly, I blew it up yesterday. It happens. Accounts get blown up. You try so hard not to blow up a funded account because it's so hard to get funded. It's not easy. Got to work at it. So, but this is a different funded account, number 67, and we will do an M and Q reverse continue. We'll work on this. M and Q. All right, we'll apply it. Then we will change our breakout, our opening breakout for the MNQ. And I'm going to load the template. Let's go to template, MNQ new open. MNQ new open, dated 5/12. Right click it and rename it 5/13. Oh, it's Friday the 13th. Nope. Load it. It's Wednesday the 13th. Bracket of 30. First target is 20. Second target, a $1.25. Stop 125. Target one stop move is break even. That's my setup. All right. We're going to test the bracket with time at 0. Label it breakout BRK MNQ open or MNQ breakout. I don't care what you call it. Just label it so it's different from all your other trades. We're going to put it on sim. We're going to put our apply it and okay it. We're going to put our chart trader on sim. And we're going to turn on the breakout MNQ to look at our bracket width for trade management. That's all we're doing.
Order submitted.
That's a little tight for me. I like it like this. All right. I just like it a little wider. But
order
I do want to
canceled.
look. There's not a lot of levels near where we are right now other than the VWAP. It's about 25 points away, 100 ticks away.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
The VWAP might be a good magnet. I think it's a great magnet, actually. Um, let's put get our breakout ready. So the MNQ breakout, 929.59. Let me just do it on 0 one more time because I've been screwing with the charts.
Order submitted.
All right,
Order
that's fine.
canceled.
That works. So we have our breakout, 929.59, bracket of 30, 20 and 125 on the targets, 125 on the stop. Target one stop move is BE. The account we're trading on is 68. Nope, that's dead. 67, sorry. 67. Apply it. Okay it. Don't need to okay it. Set the magnet up. Change the magnet to an MNQ magnet, not an oil magnet. Number 67 on the account. And our magnet setup is going to be high of day, low of day, or off at the moment. One position, -3. We are on micros. So I'll put two positions, -3, 15, 20 on the second target. And position two will be one position. So position one is a couple, two positions. Position one is one. -3 on the first target, 20 on the second target, 75 on our stop. Labeled MNQ magnet, and we're on 67. Apply it and okay it. We can turn the breakout on. We can turn our magnet on. I think the best magnet right now is the VWAP. We're going to pass through that VWAP magnet. One thing that you need to set up when you do a two position magnet, break even, stop, target one stop move, put it on break even, target one stop move. That way, if you hit the magnet and it doesn't follow through, you protect your first target. Target one stop move, break even. So the magnet is on. Chart Trader goes to the right chart, and we do have our MNQ reverse continue also. So we have three setups for the MNQ. We've got our magnet, but we have our main breakout, okay, with a 30 bracket and a 20 tick target one. And then we also have our reverse continue. I'm tempted to target the VWAP. I'm very tempted to target the VWAP and let it test before the open. We get these big moves out of the NQ in the morning at 9:25. Now, ironically, the NQ is up nothing, absolutely nothing will push this NQ market down. I mean, nothing will push this NQ market down. So I'm not so sure I want to take a short to the VWAP. I think it's not that big a short. It's almost more of a, well, I think price is just going to pass through that level, you know. As of now, we've just got our normal breakout getting ready to go. That's what we got going. Normal breakout getting ready to go. All right. YM did the PP. We could get a VWAP test out of the YM. It's roughly 40 ticks away. Now, do you think this magnet, the NQ, is going to test the VWAP? Are you interested in doing it? Manual entry price, VWAP, you got to bring your order down, right? That's around where
Ilya
you'd
says they've struck
fill. It
Hezbollah
may just
infrastructure
chop
in
around
Middle East
and ruin
areas.
it. It might not do it. It might not go through it. I'd rather not do it until 9:25, okay? When the NQ does that 5 minute early move. So I have total control over that. I don't turn the magnet on until I press the magnet entry button and put it into auto mode. I just wait. I've got my breakout. I don't have to do anything. I just wait until I wait for the market to do what I want it to do. If it shows me that it's going to do it. Certainly, one concern, it's not a monstrosity concern, is shorts. I'm not dying to take any shorts on the NQ, but it has gone lower than where we are now. But it's hard to take a short on the NQ when it's showing a propensity to be up, even when the news is terrible. The PPI was terrible, terrible. When MAGA Rick Santelli won't even use the word hot because he's such a fraud, has become so fraudulent, in my humble opinion, about expressing his views. It's a hot number, not a warm number. At least tell, if you're the guy that analyzes the news, analyze the news. Keep the politics out of it. And he can't do that. It was a hot number, not a warm number. Warm is when it's 0.1%. Like maybe some of the CPI news was warm. Maybe. But that doesn't change the fact that the NQ is going up. You're not sure you want to be taking shorts on a magnet. On the open, we know we can get a move in any direction. It just is what it is. The market can move in any direction on the open. It just does. Normally, because we get these strong 5 minute early moves, I would be, if it wasn't choppier, I don't know that I can remember. This is unreal choppiness on the MNQ. It's very, very, very choppy right now, making me not want to take the magnet until the open, if at all. First, I would let the breakout trade. Now, while the breakout's trading, it could pass through the magnet. That means you don't take the magnet. You can't trade them both at the same time unless you do them in two separate accounts. You can't trade the same instrument with two different setups in the same account, right? Because they'll interfere with each other. What would be a good analogy? You can't put your car in reverse and first gear at the same time, right? It doesn't work that way. It'll destroy the car. Well, it'll destroy the trade if you try to do that. So I do think the YM is going to test the low at the open. That's what I think. Now, do I think the NQ is going to move lower? Yes, I do. Ultimately, I do. Am I willing to take this magnet before the open? I think I'm more prone to just let our breakout trade and then let the chips fall where they may in terms of magnets. But it's a decent move. How many points is it? 95. It's only 20 points. It's only 80 ticks. It's not that big a move down to the magnet on the NQ. 80 ticks. Now, remember, you can't turn the magnet on unless you turn off your breakout. I could turn off my breakout and see if the magnet passes through the VWAP. I don't think that's a bad gambit this morning.
4
Turn
minutes
off the
remaining. The
breakout
market on
and
open
let the
imbalance.
magnet trade. I'm tempted to do that. I am tempted to do that. Ugh. Now, I'm not doing it now because I screwed up my button, so I'm just going to let it do its thing. I was going to do it, but you see what I did? I just screwed up. So I'm just going to leave it for now. And I'm glad because it's so darn choppy. I'm just going to let the breakout trade. Let the breakout trade.
10 seconds.
Turn off the magnet for a minute. Let's let the breakout trade.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Market on
Order
open imbalance.
filled.
S&P 500 sell side 15 million. Nasdaq 100
It's a
buy side
big, big
127 million.
bracket.
Down 30, sell side 40 million.
on the
Back 7, buy
RTY.
side 93 million.
Order submitted.
So the YM didn't do anything.
Order filled.
And the RTY reversed on us. Unfortunately, the RTY just couldn't get through. Couldn't get through. The trade slightly worked.
Order
Slightly
submitted.
worked on the MNQ.
US listed shares of Alibaba shares down 2.9% after company
RTY
misses
trying
quarterly
to
revenue
scalp a
and
little
profit
bit
estimate.
Order
and
filled.
just made a little bit of that back on the short. Little bit of that back on the short. I do think these markets are short still.
Order
I
submitted.
still think they're short.
Nvidia shares open
Order
2.3%
submitted.
higher.
Trying to get my
Order
stop to
filled.
safety to get the bigger move. I think the RTY is going to test the low. I do think it's going to test that low. Now look, the YM may not work here. It's not doing it. So I'm not going to get back into the RTY yet because it's changing direction. I still think the YM, it didn't test the low yet, and it should get there. It should get there. Watching the YM, whether it's going to test the low or not. It's struggling. Markets are negative. The question is whether you get the follow through or not. It doesn't look like it's going to get there. Well, I'm not going to say it doesn't look like it's going to get there. The stop is above the previous candle high. It almost looks like it wants a few more ticks, but it is what it is. Here comes the push. If it's going to push, it should come now. If it's going to push. I'd like it to hit the first target at least. The first target is the low. That's the low. Then the stop will move to safety. It's just not getting there. It's trying. It's trying.
Order submitted.
Trying to get this test of the low on the RTY without taking very much risk because it's a funded account and it took a loss already. If I can trail, I will. If I get too close, I'm going to get
Order
taken
filled.
out. I'm trying to be not too aggressive.
Order filled.
Got me. got me. The YM hit the first target and I didn't move my stop to safety. You gotta move your stop to safety if it hits that first target. You have to. You have to. If it takes me out here, I don't care because it
Order
made the
filled.
low and we're up over $500 in that account. Okay. The RTY, we gained back just a little bit of the money scalping. I don't want to just kill this account. I do think it's going to test the low and I missed it. I know it's far away, but it's
Order
too much of a
submitted.
chase and I don't like it.
Order
All
filled.
right, so I'm done with the RTY. I just don't trust myself on it, unfortunately. Um, the MNQ, it looks like it hit target one and reversed. The YM, it hit uh, it hit our first target and then it never followed through to the second target. And the RTY, I knew it was going to do it, and I just needed to leave the darn thing alone. Just needed to leave it alone. There's the test of the low. There's the test of the low. All right, so now the question is, are you going to get a signal? Are you willing to take a long signal on some of the magnets when it gives them? Now, I don't have a magnet set up on the RTY, but there is a magnet set up on the YM. The MNQ magnet is set up now. And let me get rid of the breakout. Breakout on the MNQ is over. The YM, see, I think the question was just using bigger stops today to stay in. That would have kept us in. Because look at the RTY, just not well traded, to be honest. Not well traded. Just too, what's the word? Chicken. I think the right word is just too chicken to let it just trade because the markets are so negative. The question here is MNQ. Is it going to test? I think you don't even have to test the low of the day. You can test the day open right here. Here's our day open. This line here. These markets, they're pretty negative. It should pass through the day open. You don't even have to wait for it to get to the low unless is the move exhausted for a little while. The move could be exhausted here. It's possible that it could be exhausted. So I'm going to watch the NQ a little bit.
IMS Georgieva says if oil prices stay high
That
into
is not an
2027, there's
easy.
risk of technical recession.
I would not take. I would not have taken that long signal, and it didn't work. It didn't work. If you think the MNQ is going to pass through the market open, then you leave the magnet on. If you think it's going to go back up, you don't. So what do you think? You think it's going to go test? We're not even looking for it to get all the way down to the low at this point. But the NQ, the problem with the NQ is it's bullish still. It's still a little bit bullish. It's a little bit bullish. So the question is, do you want to let it take a short? The YM, we got target one. The RTY, the range stopped, and we made a little bit back on the scalps. Not enough. Not enough. Not well scalped. In all seriousness, not well scalped. Scalped poorly. Scalped poorly. That's the truth. Scalped poorly. I'm going to wait on the MNQ short. All right. MNQ, I'm not sure it's the market I want to be short in. Might have been the VWAP test would have been better. Let's see if it passes through the VWAP. You would have been long now. And let's see if it goes nicely through the VWAP. I want to see it go nicely through. Because now you'd be long. And we want to see it go nicely through. I want to see the MNQ go through the VWAP to hit our second target. Because that is just barely a test. Just barely a test of the VWAP. And now it's pulling back too much. Now it's pulling back too much. It would have stopped us out on that pullback. So it would have just hit the first target. Unless you
According to sources,
didn't,
Trump
unless you
initiated a
moved your
tariff cut
stop.
on $30 billion of
If you moved
imports.
your stop, it would
According to
have now
sources,
just
Trump
shot
initiated
through
a tariff
and
cut
hit
of
that
$30
second
billion
target. Remember,
of
it was
imports.
20 ticks through the VWAP. I had set up the trade to be 20 ticks through whatever target we target. And that was 30 ticks or so through the target, the VWAP being the target. All right, now, in order to have targeted it properly, manual entry price, and you would have had to move the target to VWAP. Okay, so now the question is, what are you getting? Is it going to test? Is the NQ going to sell off finally on the day? The other markets are pretty negative. Is the NQ? It's holding. It's holding. It is holding. Now, man, did we miss the best trade on the RTY? We missed the best trade. That's sad. That's really a shame. Now, getting a long signal when price is so negative takes a lot of guts. If you put it on MYM, you can put your charts on MYM and take signals, and it's not going to blow up your accounts, right? So if you want to scalp signals, give me a second. MNQ magnet. I just don't want to scalp in my crazily in my funded account. That's all I'm saying. So if I'm targeting the day open, here's my day open being targeted. God darn it. Right in this area. If it goes below, come on. If it goes below here, now I'm targeting the day open. The target is there. Oh, come on, you filthy slob. If it takes me short, it's going to target this area here. It's going to fill, I think. But the MNQ, now it's
Order
negative.
submitted.
The Nasdaq 100
Now
turns
it's
negative.
negative. Okay, now it's on the correct account. Let's expand one of the targets.
Order filled.
And now we can trail if it gets to the low.
Order
All
filled.
right, now, it may still, so you made a couple of bucks on that target. It made a couple of bucks. Now the MNQ is negative. You could target the VWAP, or you could just take an instant short.
Order submitted.
Take an instant short with your stop above the candle. See if you get a test of the PP, right? You're going to get a test of the PP, or is it just going to chop around like crazy, like the MNQ does? The worry is the YM. Look at the YM. The YM did a crazy burst up.
Order
So I'm going to
filled.
exit the NQ with a tiny win. The
According
YM
to
has me a
Iran's
little
labor
bit concerned
minister,
about
cited by Iran
wanting to
International,
be
we
short
must
right
reduce the
this
sale of
second.
crude
Look
oil
at
in the
that.
country to zeros again.
I would not have
According
had
to
the guts
Iran's
to
labor
take
minister,
that
cited
signal
by
with a
Iran
full
International,
size
we must
YM.
reduce the sale of crude oil in the country
But the
to zero.
YM has done a
According
monstrous
to a poll, the Bank of
retrace
England
there.
2
That
hold
is
bank rate at
huge. That's a
3.75%
huge
this year
retrace.
said 27 of 56
Now, we
economists,
never
7
put
saw at least one
a
cut and
magnet
22 saw at
on,
least
let's
one
get rid of the
increase.
range on
Furthermore,
the
inflation should
RTY.
average 3.2% and economic growth 0.8% in
We never
2026
put a
versus
magnet on the
3.2% and
RTY.
0.7% in the April poll.
Not sure about
The
what
S&P
kind of
500 extends
signals we
decline
would
to
have
session
had.
low of
Let's
0.2%.
see. We'll do a 40 on the stop. Label it. Put it on account 29. We'll put the reverse continue on 29 for scalping. Put the chart trader on 29. So now, if you turn on the RTY magnet, right now you have a long signal on the RTY magnet.
Order submitted.
So your stop has to be about 10 ticks below, about where it is. You've made a lot of new lows. So it is possible that this trade could work. As it heads up, I would move my stop to safety. Bottom of the candle, just the bottom of the candle, expand the target a little bit and trail. See if it'll keep going because the YM went crazy off the bottom. Expand the target. Give it a little room. Try not to get too close yet. Okay, it's breaking the wick. Now we could go halfway up the candle. Expand the target even more. I cannot believe these reversals. Okay, good reversal. Good reversal. It's
Order
got me. All
filled.
right, not bad. Not bad. Now you just take a breather. take a breather. Market's still negative, right? The market's still negative. Now you got to take a breather, maybe wait for another signal, right? Now, YM, uh, I don't want to damage my Lucid account with scalping, all right? I have not been scalping great this past month. So instead of losing, let's put our Lucid scalp on a different account. So let me just get rid of anything I don't need. RTY, MNQ, we're perfectly fine on the MNQ stuff. All right, so our YM, I just need to change the account. So the YM scalping. I believe this 39 account is almost funded, so I'll be very careful with it. It's almost funded. So I won't trade it willy-nilly. I might put it on MYM. Let's watch the YM for a minute. We'll watch it. So the question is, you got a break. You did get a break with this long. I don't think I want to be taking longs at the moment, right? Not dying to take longs at the moment, even though we made money on this RTY long. I think the markets are still fairly negative from this morning's news. The news was lousy. There's no other way to look at it. Just briefly looking at the schedule today, we might as well stick around for oil, right? We have oil at 10:30, so we're going to stick around. I'll probably heat the coffee once more. And we do have Cisco this afternoon. We do have Cisco. So I've got the NQ is on 43, all right? And it never made the low. It might have filled and stopped you out on the magnet low. But the darn NQ is just barely positive now. Out of all the instruments, it has been the most positive. We did get a little scalp on the, was it the PP? No, we went through
The Nasdaq 100 turns positive.
the market open. It looks to me like the RTY will probably make another low again. It looks like the YM wants to make another low. I don't have them as magnets at the moment. You can take a short. You've got momentum on your side. The market has slowed down a bit.
Order submitted.
Is it going to test the low? That's the question. Is it going to test the low? Let me tell you something. I'm taking a tiny one here. I'll tell you
Order
why.
filled.
I have to check and see where this account gets funded. I don't want to ruin this account, this YM account. I shouldn't be trading it because I didn't do the research on it this morning. So let me put the YM on the account that I'm trading. Either do it on Lucid or do it on 29 and just not trade them at the same time. So YM, put my magnet on 29, and the reverse continue on 29. I don't want to do damage to that account when it's so darn close. I want it funded. obviously. And I want my Lucid account funded also. All right, so look at this, the ability of these markets to go up. What I've been suffering from on my personal scalping when I'm not in the room is I have tried way too many shorts. Even though the news was horrible today, I'm still gun shy about taking a lot of shorts. The market eats you up alive anytime you take shorts, except this morning. This was the first great short on the RTY here in a long time. And YM, the shorts, at least for my scalping, have struggled like crazy because nothing keeps these markets down, it seems. Nothing. It just doesn't seem like anything will keep them down. It's frustrating. All right, folks. So let me do a couple of things. We're going to get ready, believe it or not, for the oil report. We do have a DMM finally for the oil report, but there are opportunities between 9:30 and 10 very often in these markets. Particularly, I think we see almost every morning if a new low or a new high is made, we almost always get a good tradable signal. So that's something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. We traded this RTY signal for a nice profit. Not a bad profit for a one contract scalp. And we did not trade the YM signal. All right, let's look at our accounts and see what happened this morning. We lost money on the range trade, all right, but we reduced it by about $100 with scalping. That account is $430 away from a pay. 430 bucks away. The 67 is ways away from getting paid. It needs 3,000 and $400 almost. $3,400. It just is where it was when it got funded. Number 39 is one of those small accounts. And I believe I've got to check. I don't know what the number is for it to get funded. I got to figure out at what price that account gets funded. It says profit required 1,500. So Nitin, you're the expert out there. If I've got a 25K account that'll be funded with a 1,500 target, I assume that I need to make 1,500 in it. So I only need 80 bucks more in that account, and that account will be funded. So I'm very interested in that account because it's smaller. So with careful trading, you can try and get a payout much more quickly than having to make $3,600. Having to make $3,600 is a lot of work in a funded account. It's a lot of work. It's not so easy. Getting funded is not even half the battle. It's not even half the battle. All right? Bullinox. It's Bullinox. So it's a Bullinox 25K account, 1,500 target. I assume I have to make 1,500 to get it funded. It's that simple. Then I'm not clear. I think I have to make 22,000 to get a payout. With Bullinox 50K accounts, if you get funded, you have to make 3,600 before you could take your first payout. And then you can take $1,000. That's a lot of work to get funded and then have to make 3,600. That's a lot of work. Don't you agree, Nitin? You agree because you're doing it, right? You agree. Yes, that's why I have the Lucid account. Nitin, would you explain what Lucid, the way Lucid does it? Do you mind explaining what Lucid does it? No buffer. So, what happens when you pass Lucid? Let's say, let's say I pass my Lucid, and I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. My Lucid is almost halfway there. It's got to get to 3,000. So after it gets to 3,000 and gets funded, how much do you have to make to get your minimum payout? That's the question.
According to the Wall Street Journal,
I have to
Alphabet
look at the
received
rules.
investment offers at
I don't
over
remember what
$900 billion
everybody's rules
in
are
value.
without looking them up. Oh, so you have to do 150 a day for 5 days in a row? No.
Bank of
5 days
England's
in a
man says
row or
recent
5 days
geopolitical
in a
events have
month?
reinforced how exposed the
Not in a
UK
row.
economy is to international shocks
So you
that
just
might
have
require
to,
a
well,
policy
what if you have a
response.
loser? Can you have a loser in there? Of course, yes, right? Yeah, Calvin, I don't know
Bank of
why
England's
you
man
would
says
want to bother with
implications
a
of new sources of
$250,000
finance for
account.
the UK
Why?
current account
Why
deficit are
bother?
not simple.
Why do you want to bother with that? It's
Furthermore,
way
man
too
says
much
tighter
work.
policy stance could trigger
Way too
volatility
much
as
work.
new actors unwin positions,
Making
potentially leading to tighter
$15,000, that's a
domestic
full,
financial
that's
conditions than
like,
intended.
that's, you have to be trading huge. You have to be so good as a trader,
So just saying
right?
again, but Bank of England's man says tighter
The
policy
average
stance could
person would be
trigger
making a
volatility
big
as new actors
mistake to do a
unwind positions and
250K
potentially
account.
leading to tighter
I'm
domestic
starting to
financial
think the
conditions than
smaller
intended.
the account, the
Man says
better,
monetary policy cannot
because it
offset cost push
forces you to
shocks from
trade
energy
more
prices.
conservatively instead of making all these crazy trades when you can't trade so many contracts. Calvin, it would take a year to pass that account. It takes a year to pass a 15. It took a long time to pass. I, I, I would never get an account bigger than 50. I wish they had 35s, something in them, but they won't because they want to do it in a way where they maximize their resets and their billing. Let's
Man
be
says
honest,
changes in
folks.
investor base for
Hey,
gilts will
everybody.
likely affect cost of borrowing.
I want to say goodbye to YouTube. We're
And
done
man
on
says trade-off
YouTube this
between
morning.
inflation and activity increasingly stark.
I'm pretty aggravated with my RTY trading. I could have been done on that account by not trading the short properly. Not trading that short properly. Thanks on YouTube. We had a very good morning, nevertheless. Almost everything made decent money. But that one funded
Man says
account
tighter
is the
policy
most
could
important
tighten
account.
conditions more than wanted.
Everybody on YouTube, we'll see you tomorrow for retail sales. Another complicated report. So we'll be here. We'll be here tomorrow at 8 for U.S. retail. Absolutely 8 o'clock. We're staying. So everyone on YouTube, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining.